And I am probably not going to keep these either because I can't keep everything, guys. I just can't. Here's another orange. Let's pick out all the, this is red. Red. Wow, look at these. These look like candy. They're so like shiny, even though they need to be cleaned. And this is going. Here's another metal one I'm not keeping. So hopefully you guys like this. Like I said, I was like, oh, will anyone care? Does anyone want to see me like go through and sort through a ridiculous number of buttons? This one I'm actually going to throw away because the shank is so, has so much verdigris on it. So I have my garbage box over there. Ooh, look at these purple ones. Purple is my favorite color. It was my grandmother's favorite color. But guess what? Oh, I like this one. So I'm going to take this one off and let me show you why. I love the shape. That's one reason. And then look at the shank on the back. Yep, that, oh, there's 3 of them. So I will take these apart and let me make sure I have these scissors that are super utilitarian. So I'm going to use that and take the purple, these chunky little purple ones off. I'm keeping those, but the rest I'm putting in the we're not keeping it box. There's a lot of buttons in here, so let me speed it up a bit. Wow, this one is really pretty. I wonder if I can nope, not keeping it. And that's the other thing. I have to think, do I have enough time to, wow, look at this. This is really nice with the hearts. I think that's really nice. And keeping that, you know, do I have enough time to go through and that, which I think is something, I'm just telling you guys what my process is, but do what you obviously are comfortable doing for yourself. But I do sit there and think, do I have enough time to go through and like, see, this one will be tossed. And actually we recycle, but too much verdigris. That might be the one that's trying to poison the entire well. But I do think about, do I have enough time to go through and do any restoration work? Not cleaning. Cleaning is different. Cleaning is, like I said, I have a whole video on it. Sometimes it's a little tiny bit of turtle wax. Sometimes it's just a teeny tiny bit of Windex. Sometimes it's just a dry wipe off and then maybe a soft brush. That's super quick. But as far as, you know, a button that needs treatment so it doesn't poison the other buttons and it stops poisoning itself, that takes a process. And right now I don't have time for processes. So that button is going in the it's going away pile. And this is one of the optical illusion buttons. So initially you pick it up and you're like, wow, look at the shape. But then if you turn it, it's a cube. So definitely keeping that. Those are hard to find now. Right now I'm just picking up a bunch of buttons I am not keeping. See, this one needs to be tossed. Let's look at these mother of pearls. Look at how old this safety pin is. It's so old, it's rusted. And this is the old style where they squared off this part here, but we're tossing that. We do not want to require a tetanus shot. So these are all mother of pearl, and I will keep these because I love the mother of pearls that have unique shapes. And you can see these are also carved 4-hole buttons. And just to flip over the back. The back is almost as pretty as the front, but definitely this is where the work is. So we will keep those. And this one, yeah, I kind of don't want to take a chance. There's a little bit of verdigris on there, but there's more than I'm comfortable with, so that one will be tossed. Ooh, look at this. That's a chunkster. Wow, double shanked, because that's how chunky this button is. It's thick, and I mean, when I picked it up, I could feel the weight initially. Let me take a closer look at this. I'm not sure, without cleaning it well enough, to tell what it's made of. This is either one of the fancy, more expensive plastic deals. And I mean, it's molded, either that or it could be a Tagoa nut. But I'm not sure. So, but this one is definitely a keeper. We have a whole bunch of leathers here, which are going away. There's some that have images on them, or some people call these portrait buttons. There's several different names, and the only reason why is because it has a figure on it, or whether it be people, animals, mushrooms, you get the gist. Even flowers, but some of those are really Art Nouveau type buttons, but it depends on who you talk to. But this one I'm keeping because, hello, it has a horse on it, and it's kind of weirdly unique in the way the horse is styled. This we are getting rid of. Too much verdigris on it. And see, here is one. Remember the other button I tossed because of the amount of verdigris on it? This one has none. So the thing that you always want to do when you see that verdigris is remove that button from your collection. Some of them can be treated, unfortunately. The longer the disease has been there, the worse the button will be, and you will need to get rid of it. We have this Roman style button. It's made of metal. As a matter of fact, I was going to say the top, I believe, is copper, and the bottom is whatever this metal is. Brass, I believe. Like this must go away. And I am not keeping the Roman button. And then some of these like big beauty buttons, they're just, ooh, look, we have another one of those pretty black buttons. I just want to check the shank on the back. It looks really good. Little bit of green on it. Let me see if I can get that off. And you can see I just used this tool initially to see if I could get it off. This is a utility, an upholstery pin, and I'm just like gently, because I want to know how deep it goes. So just using a brush on it. You want to sort of just make sure it's not like eating the metal alive like an acid would. And that is how verdigris works. Nope, this was just surface, so we're keeping that. So we have some more big buttons in here that, in my opinion, I think they need to go into my I'm not keeping them pile. And I do separate like the big beauties. Wow, look at this one. It's like a shield. It's so heavy. I'm not keeping it though. And this one is just a little silver bit. I'm not keeping that. So as you can see, when you're going through your buttons, in my opinion, unless you're just sort of hoarding buttons, this one has too much verdigris on it. Throw that one away. I think that it depends. Like some people, like, look at this. Throw that one away. Let's see if we can find more keepers. Like, look at this button. What's the deal with this one? It's like a guy with a Mexican style top hat leaning against cactus. Why? I don't know, but we'll keep that one. That is definitely a figural portrait type situation. But what I like to do is just like I said, just now because I'm doing this with you guys, it's taking me a little bit longer. But I just like to kind of go through, toss everything into whatever box it's going to go in. And then after all is said and done, I will go back through my keep box and I will just double check to make sure that everything in there is something I'm actually keeping. And I'm just trying to see what's on. This one has words on it. I can't tell what it says. So this one will keep just to check it out closer when I use, and yes, that's when I take out the loop. Just to look at things closer, especially if there's wording on it, and decide if I'm keeping those items or not. This is a really cool button. I think that this is a Waterbury Button Company button. I love that swirl. Woo. So we'll keep that. Some more big buttons in here that I am not keeping. Take those out. Pretty cool. I don't keep a lot of like the giant big beauties. I keep some, but they have to have more than one reason for me to keep them. Sometimes it's, you know, there's something figural on them, or that there's, I'm not keeping that either. Or there's, you know, the material or the shank is something super unusual. Like I said, there has to be quite a few reasons. This is a real, actually, this is not bad for a wood button. This one is pretty nice, but I'm not keeping it. I kind of think, is there anything else in here I am keeping? Anything else? I don't think so. Ooh, look at this. Oh, yes. Oh, wow. That's why you never speak too soon and still go through your items. So this mirror back button, twinkler. People have so many different names for these buttons. But this is one of my favorite style of buttons. I don't know if I'm getting it on camera. Let me see. But behind it, it almost looks like you see a mirror, or it twinkles a bit. I have an entire video that I did about this style of button. And like I said, forgive my lack of zero manicure. And this has flowers and maybe some vines, but this is what the back of it looks like. Nice, neat, and actually a clean button to be so small and lost in here with all these dirty buttons. So that's a definite keeper because it's one of my favorites. And I see, look, some things are like rusty, broken. This is a bell that's mixed in with everything, but we're tossing that out. Here's some sort of modern, mid-century modern button. So let's do this. So I'm going to put everything to the side and then quickly sort of push things over to the opposite side that I'm definitely not keeping. And if I see anything that needs to be thrown away, we'll just toss that right out. Too dirty. And then I don't like how rusty these are. This style button did not hold up to the test of time. These are like retro 19, these are definite original, but 1970s. And I mean, I know we were coming to the end of the Vietnam War, so plastics and things like that were being replaced with metals, but obviously quality was an issue here. Here's one that has a nice emblem on it. Where am I? I just want to make sure I'm where you guys can see everything. Toss that one because it's dented. As a matter of fact, I should separate the metals so I could throw them in the metal box of non-keeps. If you guys could see how big how many buttons I am not keeping, you probably would like fall on the floor because it's a lot. Look at this one with the horseshoe on it. We'll definitely keep that one. This, oh wow, I believe that this is a Waterbury Button Company button. I know because they're the only company I know of that made buttons with a backing like this and the looping around the edge as far as attached. So this top part is actually attached to the bottom, but there's videos I have out there about that. You guys can look closer at those. Toss that one away. So as you can see, there's buttons that, yes, you're going to have to throw away because they will poison your well. Or, you know, if they're damaged, they're dented, and there's no hope for them. Usually there isn't. You have to remember they're buttons. They were made to be an expensive utilitarian, and not every button was made to be inexpensive. Sometimes there are buttons made of silver, gold, and other materials that are definitely, you know, the material itself is the value. If they have rhinestones and such in them, come on, we know that those are not made to be thrown away. But they just were some, I almost think like sometimes buttons were just like an afterthought. And they were like, well, if you don't have a button, your clothes will fall off. Same thing before the invention of buttons, people would use like ties and toggles, wooden toggles. So here's another military button. So we'll put that in our box of keepers. Let's see, anything else? But as you can see, this is a naval button, but I'm not going to keep this one. I'm not going to throw it away either. I'll put it in my find a future home for it pile because it's not that damaged that it doesn't have some use. And I have one of these that I'm going to be researching, but this one I'm going to let it go. What else do I see? What do you guys see? Did I miss something? Please let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, I've never sorted like this. Ooh, this one is really gross. I've never sorted like this on camera before, so also let me know if this is something that you're interested in. Look at this, is a button made out of leather, a leather button, but it's so deteriorated that I'm not keeping it. But yes, buttons were made out of leather as well. And you saw the big, like, you saw, where are they? These are probably 1960, maybe 1970, like late 60, early 70s, maybe even the mid 70s. But that little leather button is probably 1900, 1905, something like that. But, like I said, unfortunately, it's in really poor condition, like beyond bad. Toss you, keep you. Okay, please tell me if you see anything else. I know there's probably stuff in here, and I'm going to go through and sort out the metals from the plastics, etc. Ooh, here's one. This is another favorite I love the bullet style buttons. These are like the atomic 1960s era when they started making, honestly, everything look like a capsule or anything to do with the spaceship. I'm keeping this one for sure. See, sometimes it's a little buttons. It's not just the big, giant, chunky ones, or mother of pearl, or which is really made from a mollusk shell that you're keeping. You sort of just have to go through and look and decide what your aesthetic is. Like, or in some cases, oh, here's another horseshoe button. There are people who are selling buttons. Here's another horseshoe. Show you that. So you know we're keeping that one. They might have, you know, a reason to keep things that they don't need for themselves. Oh, here's a really pretty one with a rose. I believe this is a rose. Yep, with a rose on it. It's really well done. Keeping that one. This one is really old. But we're not here to do research. Right now, we are here to sort. And after you sort it out, everything... See, here's another one of those buttons. Okay, I have to keep this one. I'll keep this one. It doesn't have any green on it. It's really a pretty button. I just love how tactile it is and the fact that so much work went into it. Let me see if there's anything I could throw away quickly. I have a couple pieces. I might throw these away because they see... Oh, but look, if they're cleaned up. I love buttons that have this type of backing on them. I'm not keeping those for myself, but I will keep them for someone else to clean up. And they can keep them for themselves. Toss that one away. This one, I don't like the fact that it has any verdigris on it. I'm getting to a point where the green is like totally turning me off. Let's see. Oh, here's another leather button. Nope, this is a vegetable ivory button. But that has too much green on it. That might be it. Do you guys... Oh, here's another leather button. Here's another leather. But once again, it's in pretty dire straits. So we're going to let it go. I think we pretty much saw everything in here. Look at this. Where is it? This button with the anchor. But once again, I'm not... This might be a military button. I don't think so, but I'm not keeping it. So, but it's not going to be thrown or recycled. It's going to go in the find a new home pile. Let's see what this one has on it. To let you take a look as well. All right, I think that's it for that container. And what I'll do, because I'm doing this on camera, is I will put these... Look at that. That's really pretty. But I'm not keeping it. But what I'll do... Actually, am I keeping this one? No. But what I'll do is put these in another container, take another look at them before I fully let them go, just to make sure I did not miss anything and you guys aren't yelling at me. And then we'll go on to the next pile. You're seeing the top of my laptop here. And why not remind you, I hope that you guys, those that are new anyway, that you subscribe to the channel. I was doing a very questionable pour there, and as I poured, guess what I found in the buttons? Another horseshoe button. So that's why you double check your buttons. So I will be going through these one more time off camera just to make sure I did not miss anything. And we'll pick up with a new bunch of buttons in just a second. But yes, I was saying, I hope that you guys subscribe to the channel. I really need the support this time. I need people to, obviously you guys watch the videos, but sharing is important. If you don't share the videos, if you don't leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji, you don't have to say anything. Click the thumbs up. YouTube just puts us out to pasture if we don't have what they call engagement. So it's easy to engage. We just need people to do it. So here, and I know I've had so many people asking me for more content, you know, on buttons, etc. But then I remember thinking, but if not enough people are watching the video or at least engaging, maybe they don't want these videos. I'm trying to open this tin. This tin, who knows how long, how many decades this thing has been closed, and I have no idea what is in it. I know buttons are in it, but ooh, can I open it? Okay, let me pause.